Hi,
Hello.
I'm Brad,
And I'm Kelsey.
and we're BK Book Club.
Whoop whoop.
Welcome to episode 18, chapters 40 through 57, or 257. We did not read 57. Did you
Correct.
read 57?
No. Correct. No. Correct.
Okay. Of A Court of Silver Flames. And this is just a new setup. We're at my place, but instead of sitting at the couch, I decided we have festivities. So why not?
And now we're using stands.
We're having stands because we have a problem with holding our mics in.
And by we, he means me.
It's fine.
It was really sweet. His roommate was like, "Why don't you just hold it in your non-dominant hand?"
Because she talks with her hands. She expresses with her hands, and I was like, she's ambidextrous when she's talking. She's very expressive.
Both hands.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I think that's why people always think that I'm mad at them when I'm texting, because I'm so expressive in person. And in texting, I'm very...
There's no hands, so you can't see what she's doing.
Yeah.
There's no gesturing.
And there's a lot of punctuation, which apparently is weird in texting.
I think that the only time I think someone's yelling is when there's a lot of capitals.
Yeah, but
Capital
everyone's always
letters.
like, you just seem mad, because I also don't use emojis a lot.
Oh, I do. I got on that train like within the last 2 years. I started doing more emojis.
I try to throw them out there every now and then so people don't think I'm mad at them.
Confetti.
Really, I'm using the one that's like the smile upside down.
Or like the melting one.
Yeah, in my head, the upside down one is this. If you ever get that,
just,
what you do.
Oh, God. I'm warm.
So, how was your week?
Oh, first of all, we did brunch again today because Kelsey's got to work tonight. Some nice good old-fashioned bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Mm-hmm. Can't go wrong, honestly.
Can't go wrong.
And I didn't have any cream cheese, so I put a little bit of mayo on mine. You did too, which was good. Good. They were very good. My week. What did I do this week? I had a Christmas party on Wednesday at my current place of employment.
Oh, where'd you guys go?
We were actually at McMiniman's kids' school, the something school.
Kennedy School?
Kennedy School, over by Alberta, which was cool. Drew and I took my friend Drew with me because he went to the first one with me.
I remember.
Yeah, so I was like, you should come to the last one with me. So we when we got there, we went in, found our seats, put our stuff down, and then I was like, let's just go walk around and explore. And for anyone who doesn't know, McMiniman's is a chain up here in the PNW that they bought and refurbished a lot of like old schools.
Well, there's like just restaurants with some of them, but then there are old
But they have like schools, old churches, and they basically, especially when it's like a school, they transform it into a hotel, but it also like they put bars in interesting places.
Yeah.
Like the detention room was one of them that's at Kennedy School. The boiler room was open, which is where we went to. And then they have like a main restaurant area, but they also have like a floating pool and like a soaking pool, all that stuff. So it's like a cross between...
It's a spa hotel.
Yeah, it's a spa, hotel, bar.
At some of them, there's concerts
I was like,
sometimes.
it's almost kind of like an escape room too, because they have like hidden doorways and stuff like that. So it's like basically going to grab a drink at Hogwarts.
I took my old roommate and her boyfriend came to visit the first year I was here, and I took him to Edgefield.
Mm.
And
I saw Mary
this
Morris
is a
at
really
Edgefield.
Cool like thing, because at Edgefield there's like the little winery and there's golf and there's...
It's a whole complex.
It's literally a whole thing.
And I actually, in Ridgefield, I saw Tash Sultana. And Drew came with me for both of those. So basically every time I've gone to McMiniman's, I've gone with Drew.
Nice.
And then...
I love McMiniman's.
Yeah. And then Thursday night, I went to Raven's Manor, which is this really cool...
I really want to go during October next year.
Well, right now, so it's like a Halloween-themed bar, but they keep that up all year. Mm-hmm. So right now, they're actually decorated for Krampus.
Oh, yeah.
So they have like
You say Krampus?
Krampus.
Oh, I was about to ask you what is it, because I've always said Krampus, but I didn't know if it was. Okay. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know how to articulate that one. Enunciate, not articulate. Anyway, we went because there was pronunciate, articulate, enunciate.
We're doing real
Tell us
great.
How to speak. Any English majors out there, please hook us up. Or don't, actually. We went because there was a aerial thing that Drew is a part of this Aerial Silks company too,
Yeah.
and he trains there, and like that's his like happy place. And they host events every once in a while, and I actually did one Halloween with him, and then they had this one because it's Christmas time, so they did this one too. Went with Colin and a couple of his friends too, so it was like just a small group of us just sitting in Ravens Manor having drinks, watching this crazy show, which was awesome. And then last night, which was Friday, I actually went to a Blazers game with who is currently my boss, but she's actually like a really good friend of mine. Hung out with her, her husband, and her stepson until like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little tired.
I'm also tired.
Because you went out last night too.
I did. I mean, I literally left at like 11:30, got Taco Bell, and was home by like 12:15.
I did not mean to be out as late as I was. I found out that the green line stops running after 12. I had to take an Uber home.
Oh, it's always a sad day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just worked a lot this week. That's it.
And then she went out last night, even though she keeps forgetting to mention it.
I said, yeah, I went out.
Yeah, but what did you do?
Home. Oh, it was my cousin's birthday. Bar crawl. She does like a Christmas themed one every year.
Sounds
this
cool.
year was.
I didn't have an invite.
Not like you would have been able to come anyways.
I didn't make those plans until Thursday, so actually. We give each other this shit all the time because we're always like, why don't you invite me to things?
And then we literally see each other all the time,
we
too.
see each other at least once a week.
Besides my coworkers, they see you more than anyone else.
I'm not mad about that.
No, I'm not mad either. Last week, we literally saw each other 3 days in a row.
It was awesome.
It was great.
It was great.
Just saying.
So let's get into it. Chapter 40, Cassian, and I did mine kind of like how Kelsey did because I wasn't able to be by my laptop while I was reading, so all my notes are in my phone. But chapter 40, Cassian decides if Nesta is going to wield a sword, she should see how they are made, not just the beauty of them, but the artistry and the blacksmithing of one. She even takes it upon herself to give 3 a few whacks herself. Nesta focuses harder on her training to the point that she's learning both sword work and sparring on her own. Nesta focuses her powers and destroys a wooden beam with it unintentionally, and Lucian has come back to observe Nesta's progress. Do you have any notes for 40?
I just have 2. The first one is, Lucian is all like, bro, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, what's going on?
He's like, y'all are fucked.
And then I said, but I mean, at least we're getting somewhere with her power.
Yeah, agreed. I like this.
And then I'm like, I don't need to do that.
You don't need to do that. It's fine. It just makes your voice more clear. But the whole thing that's good about this is that it's like omnidirectional from this way. So if you're kind of standing off to the side, it still picks you up. Yeah.
Hello.
Like that.
Hello.
I don't have any notes for that chapter.
Okay.
Chapter 41, Hellion has come into the Huan City to help identify what spell the soldiers are under, for the team to realize that Brylin already has the crown and is using it on the Autumn Court soldiers. Reese and Feyre let him in on the fact that Feyre is pregnant. Nesta is introduced to Hellion and his Pegasus. He teaches her how to put up the wards around the mask with her blood and refuses to learn how to unlock the enchantments in case she's ever captured. Nesta shares her desire for gaining more wartime knowledge with Cassian, in another fantastic sex scene spanning several pages. The amount of sex in this one,
And that's what all my friends
by
told me.
far.
They're like, sure, yeah.
Mhm.
But that's because that's all she's letting him have.
And it's not like 3 pages. It's like an entire chapter.
Yeah.
Which I'm not mad about. You can go first. I'll read mine after you.
Okay. Well, at first I was like, oh my gosh, Hellion unleashed she and this night chorus is gonna be the time.
And
But
it
was
wasn't.
not.
I don't think Lucian was there. Oh yeah, he was because
it
was right after he had visited.
And then I said I knew Brylin had the crown, so it does look like she can use them pretty easily. Because remember we were going back and forth, and then I just said fucking Feyre teasing Cass. Or like, same girl, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be teasing him so much.
He's like a brother to her, so she's just like
absolutely. She's like, and you're trying to get with Nesta.
Yeah, good luck. Bro. Chapter 41, I said, I think the story of the Pegasus will be told more once the Valkyries assemble. I think the story of their disappearance and how Amryn came to Perinthian is linked as well. Because they kind of disappear around the same time.
I think Amryn, it's somebody used
the harp is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, is that someone used the harp and that's how she ended up getting into Corinthian in the first place.
I feel like that's...
Yeah. That's all I had. Do you have any more for 41?
I have a lot with 40.
I do too. I have 3 for 42.
Yeah, You're a lot,
no,
and
I know.
a lot.
No,
So
I'm meaning like
different.
a lot for me.
Yeah.
Chapter 42, Cassian is called to the river house because the smith has brought the cursed sword Nesta worked on, only to find out that she has enchanted them with her own power. Cassian tells the inner circle that they need to tell Nesta. Amren argues that she may use her new gifts to create more weapons and rise up against them. Cassian says that's bullshit, and Rhys leaves it up to Feyre to decide whether they will tell her or not. Rhys reveals the inner turmoil he's facing because of the baby having wings, how he still hasn't told Feyre, and how he has reached out to every ally with winged troops. His last hope is Hellion's library. Cassian and Amren try to convince Rhys to use the weapons Nesta created to become the next High King of Corinthian. Before you go into your trove.
Yeah, you go.
I said, shit, the crown's been taken. I fear there's a more sinister situation with the trove. Wouldn't Koshi be able to use the harp to get out of his prison? Then I said, I think these were actually supposed to be for 41. I think I fucked that up. Because then you've heard of foreplay. What about wing play? I'm interested. And I said, do we think Rhys will create a council of unified rulers consisting of his court instead of becoming a High King? My thought behind that would be like having a...
No, I don't.
No. I don't know. There's something about the way that like came up and his feelings on it.
You know what I think.
I already knew what you think.
And my first one says, were you done with yours?
Yeah, I'm just... Because I do reference you talking about that at some point. Yeah, I'm like, where did I talk about it?
I did say my first note on this said, I love being right. Because obviously Nesta's going to be High Queen. I fucking knew it.
I don't
This
know
was
if
before
she
they
will.
talked to Rhys. No, every single foreshadowing is telling, like, I don't know where you're not getting. Well, every single foreshadowing
I think what it is for me is that I'm like, I don't ever see Nesta ruling over Feyre.
I think it will be kind of how Rhys and Feyre rule over Night Court. Like, it's ruling, but it's really having input.
I don't know. Keep going. I'm not saying I fully disagree with you because, yes, foreshadowing all says that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
And I think that was before...
I know where my references is in, like, chapter 51 and 52.
I know this... I know where it,
Yeah.
Like, I know where you're, yeah. I know that was, like, before they even talked to Rhys. It was, like, talking about the High King.
Yeah.
And that's right when it said High King. I was like, I knew I'm fucking right. And then also, a random thought I had today, not while reading, was that I think Nesta is going to be who figures out how Feyre can have her baby.
Agreed.
Or she's...
I have a really dark, weird fucking idea.
Oh my god, you're going to say it's going to bring him back to life.
Who?
Because she's death.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
And then I said, okay, Amren is being a little dramatic, and I feel like mean. I don't know what happened between them, but her saying that she can't know is ridiculous.
Agreed.
Like, that was...
I hated that. It was the first time that I was like,
that.
Amren.
It was the first time I was like, ooh.
Like, you're playing with fire with that one, girl.
Yeah, I said, I also love that Cassian immediately thinks of, like, good things that could be done with this. He's like, oh, we can find the strength, we can do this, and it's not like a bad thing.
I think that's Cassian in general, though. He's just the consummate, like,
and this is why everybody,
optimist.
like, all of book talk is like, Cassian is the best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's get Azriel's book first, and then we'll talk.
I'm still on Rhys end, so...
I'm probably going to die on that hill, but at the same time, I was always either a Lucian or an Azriel fan.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, and I think Azriel and Lucian's book might be the same book.
Which is fine.
I said, ooh, that comment about Cassie being careful while he's fucking her, really not okay.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, this is...
a little tricky. Wouldn't that be fucked if she was able, like, literally fucked, if she was able to imbue him with power that way?
I feel like they would have figured that one out by now.
Who's pegging who now, bitch? Sorry.
No, because my mind just went in so many places after that comment. I was like, reel it in.
Reel it in. Dial it in. Lock it up.
I said, so obviously they're going to unsheath the swords, or at least Cassian. As soon as Amber was like, don't touch them, boys. And we all were like...
They're both just like, did she leave? Open it.
As soon as she's like, do not touch those, I'm like, they're going to be...
And then 5 minutes later, she's like, I knew you two couldn't resist. But the thing is, though, is that she was there. She's like, I want them to do it.
Yes. She's like, reverse psychology. Here you are.
She was like, don't open these. At least not in my presence. I need to know if you die first.
She's like, look, I don't have the powers that I once
have
did.
The power. I'm not as strong as I used to be.
You guys are the guinea pigs now.
Good luck.
I said, and now even more convinced that it's Nesta and Cassian because Reese and Feyre don't want it. But I feel like Nesta will want to step up because she is gaining competence as a leader with the priestesses. And then I have one more.
Go for it.
Amryn is really pissing me off in this chapter. I don't like how pushy she's being with Reese and talking about the sisters like weapons and not people. Because there was a whole section where she basically was like, no, you have to be, and you can use Elaine, and you can use... I was like, ooh, I don't know what's going on with you.
She's like power hungry to begin with, so I think that like losing the fact that she lost her power, she's trying to still like instill herself as the second in command.
Yeah, but I was like, ooh, I don't like how you're talking. Like, I don't even like Nesta, and I don't like how you're talking about
It's definitely how people like spiral. Because she's like, even with just Feyre, your power is doubled. And I'm like, girl, calm down.
And your power is now 0.
Yeah, like, you are nothing.
We're such bitches.
And I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. Okay.
Chapter 43, Nesta and Cassian meet with Eris in the spring court. She puts the blame of what happened to the autumn court soldiers on Eris, inferring that he's the one who gave them to Brylin and armed them with ash arrows. They are all caught by Tamlin, who Nesta threatens with a death promise if he reveals that they were meeting with Eris. Nesta senses the darkness in the bottom of the library again and reflects on the day's interactions with Cassian. Some of these chapters were actually really short, like 45 through 48. Yeah, there was a lot
of really short chapters.
43, Nesta sparring with Eris was awesome. She can utilize the vile lessons her mother taught her for situations like this. And then I said, oh my god, Nesta confronting and threatening Tamlin gave her so many points for me.
Okay, so mine, I just said, okay, but Tamlin and Nesta both kind of ate with the, you're just as nasty as your sister says you were.
She's
and she
like,
said, and I'd hate to disappoint you. I was like,
only knew, bitch.
Ate.
If you only fucking knew.
Okay, I said, okay, but on page, because sometimes I forget I said on page 460, it says, Cass wrapped his arms around her waist, so maybe it's like a middle school dance. But then later it is like this, so I think and I'm like, I feel like that's so much more strange than...
Kelsey just really needs someone to visually represent how the flying is happening. Because she is completely lost with it.
Stuck on it.
She cannot fathom it, does not compute.
I just don't know why they're not holding like he did when they flew off
Maybe
later.
She's tired of feeling like a cradled damsel in distress.
I feel like I'd feel safer like this than just like middle school dancing it.
No, that's very like Superman, Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Superman should have also...
Lois and Clark, not Lewis and Clark. They traveled across.
I do like
wrong people.
Yeah, like sure.
Wrong people.
And then I just have one. I said, and now the darkness and expanding and contracting and throbbing in a wild beat seems like a heart.
She's insufferable when she knows she's right.
Which is all the time, so I must be insufferable all the time.
Chapter 44, Cassian starts going through more of the history of the Valkyries and teaches the 8-point star striking map with a sword. Nesta, Gwen, and Emery decide to train as Valkyries and reinstate the order. Cassian tells the inner circle of Nesta's progress, and both Feyre and Elaine agree that it's good. It's going well and that it's good for her. Elaine explains more of Nesta's past and how her mother sharpened her into the person she became and revealed Nesta's love for music. Feyre doesn't even hesitate when she tells everyone that they will need to tell Nesta about the swords.
Yeah.
I don't have any notes for that.
I actually also don't, but yeah, Nesta was like, or Feyre was like,
of
these
course.
are idiots. Of course we're telling her.
Of course we're telling her. Chapter 45, Cassian tries to ease his way into telling Nesta about the swords, only for it to backfire. She goes into a rage over the fact that people didn't want to tell her, including Aaron. She storms out of the house of wind all the way to Valeris below, motivated by pure rage. And I only have one note, and
I have 2 little ones.
It's annoying to me that after all the shit she put everyone through, when someone is wary about it, if they can trust her, Nesta takes offense. And I'm like, bitch, you have to give people reason to want to trust you.
And I have more of that in for like the next chapter. This one I just said, I want to know what the fuck happened with Amren. Like, I want to know what was said.
You're in luck. I don't have any notes until 52 after this one. I was speed reading at this point. I was like, I need more.
I said, I'm nervous for Valeris when she's less angry, but also Amren has been mad at her for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 46, Nesta confronts Amren and is met with Feyre, who tries to calm her down. Nesta then tells Feyre that everyone has been keeping for her what everyone's been keeping from her, the fact that her baby would likely kill her. To which Rhys makes Cassian take her from Valeris before he kills her.
I have a few notes.
Go for it.
And I realized that some of them I'm like, oh, this auto-corrected a lot, but it's fine. Because every time it auto-corrects to Nestor instead of Nesta. So again, Nesta is making it an either-or situation. And it never needed to be that. And I feel like that's what she's not understanding.
You chose my sister.
And also, my other note was like, she was friends with Feyre before she even knew you. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I love that Amren called her out. Like, you're so mad at Feyre for caring and loving for you. That's all Feyre's ever
And she was like, you don't
do.
deserve your power if you don't even believe your sister loves you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not worthy of it.
No.
Yeah. I think doesn't she even say that at one point, that you're unworthy of your sister's love?
Probably.
I think Amren says it at some point. She's like, you're not even worthy of her love. Like,
I know. I think that Nesta says it about herself. Because she was like, Tamlin didn't deserve it, neither do I.
Yeah,
but
she definitely says it later on.
I said, Nesta's a fucking, for that one, for how she told.
Yeah.
I said, I don't necessarily think it's wrong that Feyre knows about the risk. However,
it shouldn't have came. It should have came from Rhys.
And it shouldn't have been to get back at.
No, it shouldn't have been used to hurt her.
It wasn't even to hurt Feyre though.
No, it was no. That's what I mean. It shouldn't have been used. It shouldn't have been weaponized.
Correct.
Period. That's just terrible.
Yeah, it was not good.
I like though that Nesta instantly regretted it. Instantly was like,
as soon as she said, she was like, ugh.
Yeah, she was like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Thick.
She's like, maybe.
Sorry. Chapter 47, Cassian takes Nesta to a forest, forcing her to hike and camp and keeping his distance because of his own rage at what she has done. These are where the chapters are really short.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for 47?
I think it's, for me, it's hard to like Nesta because like her and Feyre are so opposite and we've got, 4 books.
I mean, we think that they're so opposite.
Well, but like in certain ways, like,
yeah.
That was it I had.
48, hiking for several days, Cassian reflects on how the mountains he is in have been rumored to heal even the most troubled soul. He is hard on Nesta until he realizes how much self-loathing she actually has for herself. No notes.
I said, I love bitchy Cassian.
He was good at being stone cold.
Yep, I said Nesta did something simply out of spite to be the less hated person, and he's not having it. He's like, I spent all this time helping you, and you threw it all fucking away. Like, everything right now. Yeah. You just
ruined it.
Ruined it.
Everything that she had like progressed through, she basically threw it all away.
Yep.
In chapter 49, Nesta faints, and once they make it to the heart of the mountains, she finally has a full, complete meltdown. She finally lets go of everything she's resented about herself.
I don't have anything, but good.
Chapter 50, Nesta finally talks about how she blames herself for her father's death, finally admits that's why she can't stand a fire, finally talks about how worthless she feels, especially with the hell she put her sister through, and continues to put her through. Cassian takes the time to explain that it never goes away, but you learn slowly but surely how to deal with it day by day and get through it.
I just had good. I'm glad she's maybe finally starting to like get over herself a little bit.
That like healing journey has finally started. Which, I mean, there was definitely, and that was the thing, I think that's the big theme about this book is explaining the spiral that people who are going through like PTSD and trauma, like the spiral that they go through. Because she does. There's points in the book up until these chapters where she's like making really good progress, even just like communicating differently with Cassian or like becoming more friendly with Gwen or Emery.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the people that she's disappointed that she's the most hard on.
Yeah.
Including herself. Chapter 51. Cassian tells the girls that they can only pass training once they are able to slice a white ribbon. Emery gives it the first and failing try. More sex. The girls train with the shields. Nesta tells Gwen she wants to join the priestesses for one of their rituals so she can hear music.
Yeah, I just said I'm glad Nesta's starting to open up and ask for help. I'm hoping this is the turnaround of me liking her.
This is where the point system comes into play. Chapter 52, where I finally have a note, and this is where I said I have a really dark thought about how Feyre is going to have the baby. Nesta attends the ritual and accidentally scries and finds where the harp is hidden in the prison. She and Cassian tell the inner circle, and she gets a chance to finally apologize to Feyre. Rhys gives Cassian Nesta's enchanted weapons in case they need them in the prison.
I just said, damn, not the fucking prison.
Mind you, I was also high when I was reading these chapters.
I was too.
So I know, but it's not often that I do that.
I know.
For
I was
me, it's not
making a joke and you didn't laugh.
You can hit me, it's fine. What if literally I put dark thought. I'm just gonna read it.
Yeah.
Sick thought. What if they use the harp to get the baby safely out of Feyre?
Oh, I don't think that's necessarily a dark thought. When you said dark thought, I was like, what, they're gonna die and she's gonna bring them back to life and they're gonna be like zombies?
No, because I don't feel like that's dark. I mean, she's gonna use the mask to keep Feyre up. God. Oh. No, not a zombie Feyre. Though maybe that's how she becomes High Queen.
Yeah. Uses the crown to be like, you will not die.
You will not die.
You will have this baby.
Oh my god. Chapter 53. Cassian and Nesta make it to the prison and find the enchanted chamber around the harp. Nesta finds that the wards do not work on her like calling to like. The harp shows Nesta what time was like before the Great Wars and before the High Lords. She uses the harp to get out of the enchantments, only to find that the most deadly foe Cassian has ever imprisoned has been freed. I don't have an actual note for this one. My next note is for the next. I have quite a few notes for the next chapter, but
I just have, what is this, 53? Yeah, I
yeah.
just have one.
The thing that I found interesting, and just the only thing that I'll reference, is that Sarah J. Maas does a really good job at making us hate characters whose names start with L. Because the thing that she imprisoned, I guess Ianthe is an I.
I was like, it was more the Anthe for me, because that did remind me.
Yeah, I was like, Ianthe, and then Lanthe.
The only L person I can think of is Lucian, and I didn't know we hated him.
Not yet.
Yeah.
That's all that was just a thought.
I just had, besides like spending the actual night in each other's beds, like everything else, I'm like, you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, you guys are dating. Just
as you know.
He eats you out every night. Like, hello.
Well, and like the touching of the face and the kissing on the head and all that. I'm like,
nibble on the neck.
Y'all are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Like, get over yourselves. God.
That was it.
Chapter 54. Nesta runs at Cassian's command, but then returns to be the one to slay Ianthe. But not before he tries to enchant her into becoming his queen to rule over the cosmos. Another piece of the puzzle is shown to her, as there is another trove object that no one knows about except apparently Ianthe. Nesta decapitates and slices up Ianthe, killing a true immortal. She uses the harp to get her and Cassian back to the river house, since Cassian is mortally wounded, and so she wouldn't get caught by the Autumn Court soldiers that Briarlyn has sent, because Briarlyn was able to connect with Nesta when she held the harp while Briarlyn was wearing the crown. You can go first, because I have a few notes for this one.
I just said, Lanthe took it too far with this exhibition. That was too far. It's too far. Felt a little rapey for me.
Just a little.
And then I just was like, fuck. Because she really just killed an immortal being.
Like a true immortal being.
So I was like, she's definitely going to kill Kolshi or Kolshi,
100%.
or how the fuck you say it.
Or absorb him. Through her pelvic floor exercises. I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
Kegels.
Yep. Death by Kegels.
Death by Kegels. Oh Oh, gosh.
So I started with so much lore, The Wild Hunt giving me the Witcher vibes because there's an actual Witcher game called The Wild Hunt. I love how Lanthe calls Nesta a death god. Once Lanthe realizes who Nesta is, he calls her the Queen of Queens, furthering Kelsey's hypothesis of her becoming a queen. I still don't know of what, though.
I read that and I literally was like,
I can't wait till Nesta learns how to actually use her powers instead of conducting them through a weapon. But I'll be disappointed if she uses the weapons she forges like siphons and she doesn't have the ability to control her own powers. I wonder if she will give weapons of power to all of the Valkyries. And I wonder if Nesta will finally let Amren teach her how to wield her powers.
Well, they got to get over whatever first.
That's true. Chapter 55, the Inner Circle is debriefed on what happened in the prison. It's determined that someone will need to maintain the relationship with Eris, and it's put on Nesta to dance with him during the winter solstice to charm him. Nesta brings Cassian to the cabin she and her sister lived in poverty in. She does this to move on and to forgive herself just a little more.
I just had... Okay, I will say I would have done the same thing if Cassian was like, no, you're not going to do it. I'd be like, so yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, sign me up.
If he wouldn't have said anything, don't know, but him acting like this is...
I bet she's going to use the promise that they have with each other to force him to not kill Eris.
Oh, I did kind of forget about the promise.
Yeah, I know. Never mentioned again. So I'm
well,
like, I like to hold on to those little nuggets. I'm like, that's hanging over there somewhere.
I still think the promise is gonna be something like he
like
has
a self-sacrifice of some kind.
Like he's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna go with you, or I'm gonna do something, and she's like, no, you have to
when
stay
she goes
here.
And faces
you
Koshi,
have to,
probably.
yeah, it's gonna be something
crazy like that.
Like he has to not try and protect her. He has to like stay or whatever it is.
All I have, is that all you had for 55?
Yeah, I don't have any more notes because I think I forgot.
55, after the battle, why didn't Nesta just let Rhys or Feyre see what she saw and experienced, and the same as Cassian? Then they could have discussed, and Rhys could have then shared with Amren, which, why isn't she there in the first place?
Yeah.
So they can get more insight. The group works best as a whole, especially when they are all communicating. That's just the trend that they've always had.
Because it's probably Nesta and not any of the other.
True, but I mean, I feel like,
Are you talking about after the war battle?
No, after the fight with Lanthe.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's explaining everything she saw. Yeah. I was like, fuck all that, I'll show you. Because I'm just thinking about, like, the symbols in the room. The chamber itself, like, Amren probably recognizes something in there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then whatever the vision was that the harp gave her, too, and the vision that Lanthe gave her.
Will still, who knows? Yeah. We'll see.
In chapter 56, Nesta starts to train with Mor for the dances she will need to know before the solstice celebration. She and Nesta finally have a decent conversation. Gwen gives the girls their solstice gift, which are the new chapters of the book Meryl is creating since they are continuing the practices of the Valkyrie. They are now a part of the Valkyrie histories. The house leads Nesta down to the heart and reveals itself as the darkness at the bottom, a flurry of pain and anguish that matches the priestesses and the newfound Valkyries. Nesta embraces it as a friend and as her home.
You know, I was so excited to see that.
I
literally read it and I was so fucking not!
All
Sorry,
I had
everyone, that was probably bad in your ears.
Emery and Mor are going to get it on, I bet, is all I had in there.
Oh, yeah.
Because Emery was like, God, I forgot how hot she is.
Yeah.
And I was like, get it, girl.
Well, and I think we made mention of that when Emery first came around.
When
it was like
Emery
her
first came around, we were like,
the sister of the girl in Winter Court.
Whatever
court.
Yeah, Winter Court. You're right, Winter Court.
Those were the two that I'm like, is this going to be a new love interest for Mor?
Mor's just going to get all the poontang, all she can. All of it.
Yeah. She just has to tell everyone.
She just has to be honest first. Which is weird because isn't she like the truth sayer?
Truth is her
power. Her power is truth. What a loser.
But can you imagine?
You're around
honest, like Azriel that can have all these like little shadows, Rhys that can literally do whatever. At least Cassian can like fly, and then she's like, and then at the time Amren was an all-powerful being, and then she's like, my power is truth.
She's the lasso from Wonder Woman. Good for her. Oh, man. So next episode will be the rest of the book. Yeah. So 57 to the end, and I don't even actually know how many chapters there are, but we're just going to read the rest of the book because it's a very small section. As you can see, it's only that much. So
it's still like 150 pages.
It's still like 150 pages because we stopped it so that we would be able to, like, I think it's like 80 something chapters. I just read something and I'm like, oh God. 80 chapters in total. So 57 through 80 is what we're reading.
How many pages?
So 579 to, you're going to have to do the math because I don't math.
Okay.
579 to 751.
Wait, 5 what?
79.
Oh, okay. So a little less than 200 pages.
Less than 200
So yeah, like
175, I think, is the total, because that's what we were trying to break it up by, is like 172 or 175. Yeah. Sweet. Do you think that we're going to get the battle with Koshi in the next 175 pages?
I don't know.
Right? I don't feel like there's but at the same time, like, Sarah J. Maas has a knack of just throwing a shit ton of stuff in the end of the book.
Yeah, and it could be this big lead up to her just being like, fuck you.
Yeah, right.
Like, or she just get so good with things.
Or she just, like, stands in place, and like how Reese can just mist people, she just can be anywhere on the globe and annihilate whatever being she wants. Mm-hmm. And just be like, well, he's gone. Don't worry.
Bye.
Valeria so or whatever her name is, you're free. Have fun.
Yeah. I don't know. There is, I feel like, so many questions that need to be answered in the next.
What if Feyre and Reese become High King and Queen of Prythian? Nesta and Cassian become High Queen and King of the continent with an army of Valkyries and Illyrians. Mm. And then
I just feel like Reese is so adamantly against being High King that I don't think
but
it's going to be him.
But I think it all depends on the rest of the, like, I think that Reese's decision isn't solely based off of, I don't think that it's just based off of, like, I just don't want to rule. I think it's more of a, like, the situation is not ideal for him to rule.
I think it's more that he's about to have a child and he doesn't want to put an even bigger target.
Well, the target's already huge.
Yeah, and so he doesn't want to put an even. And I think that, in my opinion, even though, like, she was human and now she's not, I think they'd be more willing to have it be Nesta, because I think it'll almost be like, you know, the royals, it's like, you can either be king and, like, for example, Queen Elizabeth was the ruling king and her husband was, like, the
consort.
Yeah, like the king consort.
It's a queen, the king consort. She was the queen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it might be like that. Like,
it's like Nesta right now how King Charles is the king, but Camilla is the queen consort.
No, I thought they made her actually queen, and that's why everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, she's not queen consort. That's such a fuck you to Diana." And blah 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 blah.
Who knows? I don't know anything about royalty anyway, so.
Except for that, I
am it. Facts.
But.
How'd we do, Ariana? Okay, so with that, yeah, here's to finishing the first series together. And bear in mind,
what is done.
Yeah, what is completed book-wise. We are finished with the series. Our next book is going to be Hooked. Do you know who it's from? I can't remember.
It's the Never After series.
Yeah.
By Never After series. Emily McIntyre,
yeah. So
we're gonna try that one and see if we like that series.
If we're good with it, and then we'll continue the rest of the books in that series. If not, we'll just pick another book.
Yeah, it's like a dark retelling.
Yeah. And this one is the Peter Pan story, but retold in a different way.
Yeah, there's like Peter Pan, Wizard of Oz, Aladdin. I forget all of the rest. I looked them up and saw what it was, but I was like, okay, sweet.
But yeah.
Try it.
So, I'm Brad.
And I'm Kelsey.
And we're BK Book Club signing out.
Whoop whoop.
I hope the mics pick that up.
Yeah.